What's up, guys? It's LA. Welcome to the LA Experience Podcast. Today we have a very special guest, Jonathan Costner, and we're going to have a really open dialogue today about depression and also learn a little bit about his story as well. And, I really want you guys to watch this entire episode. I think that there's going to be a lot of points covered here when it comes to battling depression, some really key steps that you can take yourself. And, whenever you find yourself in those positions where it just feels like there's no light at the end of the tunnel, I really hope that by the end of this episode, you're going to have some key steps to take to find your own light. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoy it. All right, guys, welcome to the LAX podcast. We have our special guest today, Jonathan Costner. He's, you're 21 years old, right?
Yep.
And you live in Missouri.
Oh, actually, I'm 22. I just turned 22
really?
a month ago. Yeah.
Oh, nice, man.
Sorry.
Well,
after 21, I kind of forget about them.
Yeah, I just turned 33 like a couple weeks ago, and I keep on saying 32. Like,
yeah, it's like happy belated birthday, man.
I'm older. Yeah. But yeah, man. So you originally from Indiana, living in Missouri now. You have severe hemophilia A. But yeah, that's why don't you kind of tell everyone a little bit more about yourself and your story.
So I was originally born in Indiana, and my real dad was kind of a piece of shit. So quickly, my mom, can I cuss on here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. So my mom got me out of there, and we ended up moving down south into a small town called Doniphan. And that's where my grandma lived. And we were there probably till I was about 4 or 5. And we had a few stepdads who were just abusive. And, with me and my mom and my older brother, just like,
so your mom actually married them? Then
she didn't marry them, but it was just like boyfriends here and there. Pretty much just finding like new places to live because my grandma kicked my mom out just because of family issues and stuff like that. So with our last my last stepdad before the current one I have, he was just extremely abusive. He had a daughter, and her daughter had a book of how she wanted to kill my mom. There was a little boy who one time pushed me down the stairs, and I ended up breaking my arm. And luckily, my older brother was behind me, and he saw that. But the kid tried saying that I just fell and that he didn't shove me. So, he saved me there. But yeah, we were trying to leave one time, and he came out there and just started slitting the tires so he couldn't. And then that's when my current stepdad showed up and pretty much was just like, I'm taking them from you. And like, there's nothing really you can do. So,
wow, man. Real quick, when were you diagnosed with hemophilia?
I was diagnosed. They tested me as soon as I came out the womb.
Okay.
Because my older brother, when he came out, they didn't test him or anything. And he ended up getting a big old bump on his head, and it wouldn't go away for like a month and a half. So my mom got worried about it, took him to the hospital, and they found out he had hemophilia. So same one as me. And then,
are you guys the first in the family, or was there priors?
Yeah, nope. First in the family, no other besides my cousin, but he's younger than me, and he only has moderate. But I have a older brother and a younger brother, both with severe. So
so so I'm guessing your mom's boyfriends knew that you guys had a bleeding disorder. And they were still just abusive and not really giving a shit about what happened.
Yeah, nope. It was a really small country town, so it was the men mentality of don't be a pussy and stuff like that. And
okay.
But other than that, we ended up moving into 6 hours away from there to this town called Warrensburg, Missouri, and then ever since then it's been my home, and I've been pretty grateful since, because if I never moved away, I'd probably be selling meth with my stepdad or some sort of low life stuff like that. So
so it didn't seem like there was much to offer there.
No. So now currently I'm going to school. I'm in my second year, trying to finish up, and hopefully next semester I'm gonna go into the nursing program.
Okay.
But
so
it all depends.
Doing some basic studies right now of some sort?
Well, I'm actually past my gen eds, and right now I'm in like the human anatomy and just like learning like about the body and stuff like that. But it's just, if I pass this human anatomy class next semester, I'll be able to get into the nursing program. So that's the goal right now. But like another topic we wanted to get on was depression. It's it's been really hard with school and stuff like that because, man, just trying to focus and learn new terms and stuff like that when you got a bleed that's just aching away at you, it's just,
Yeah.
it attacks you mentally.
So let's talk about your bleeds and stuff at now, and then also growing up. Like, did you have like some kind of target joint that's just like you're constantly bleeding for that joint?
I had a lot of joints in my left shoulder and with my left elbow.
Okay.
I actually here recently last month had a shoulder surgery. They went in and kind of cleaned out the joint, and I actually had a couple of cysts that formed.
Oh, wow.
So they filled those cysts with this type of material that basically turned it to bone. So that bone will like fuse with my bone, but
yeah,
it was just way too much pain. And like, I still had range of motion, but like sometimes when I'd be lifting up high, I'd get that like nerve pinch and I'd have to just completely drop my arm and just, I'm still getting range of motion back, but it's definitely a lot better.
So you lost a lot of range of motion though?
I mean, I'm still kind of recovering from the surgery, so I'm hoping that after a little bit more recovery is I get it back. But
what about your elbow? How's that?
But the elbow, so I've actually broken my left arm twice in the elbow, so I think that's why it's such a target joint for me. But I mean, all the time I'd kind of have my arm just like resting up on my chest, and my mom would always be like, you got to bleed, and just that was kind of her sign to be able to tell, because I was going easy on it and not really using it as much. But I'm just grateful I had a mom who actually advocated for us and got us out of all those sticky situations. So
how was school life for you and your brothers? Like,
I mean,
did you guys tell your friends? I mean, were you missing a lot of school? Were you able to even focus on school?
I mean, as a kid, man, we had to wear like the helmets and knee pads and stuff like that when we'd go on the playground. And, as a kid, all the kids are wondering like, why are you wearing that? So, I mean, I wasn't comfortable really telling people about it until probably like freshman year of high school.
Okay.
Just because like, I don't know, I was always looked at very different because of it. And, I had to miss a lot of school because of it. And just in times in class, it'd just be hard to even focus really. Because, one day you can walk and then the next day you're showing up to class with crutches. So people, ask questions and kind of look at you. So,
yeah, man, being a young person and just trying to like wrap your head around, why you're feeling the way you're feeling, why you think the way you think, and, why things seem so much harder. It's something that I've like a revelation that I've had as I gotten older. And I'm just like, man, I was so confused as a kid.
Oh, yeah.
I had no idea what I was doing.
It just it seemed so weird seeing all your friends being able to do all these things and not have to worry about what would happen next. And, if we're too rough one day, or if we even just walk too much, our legs are getting, sore, a bleed could possibly start.
Yeah.
And it's a big, it just kills your mood. Definitely.
Yeah.
But I mean, a lot of bullying growing up, but I think once I kind of got into like 8th grade, 9th grade, I was kind of just past people bullying me for it. Like, it is who I am. So I'm just going to kind of accept it. And, I don't really want those people around me in my life anyway. So I don't really care what they think.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you like ever go through a time where you like really didn't want to infuse and you kind of like neglected it?
Oh yeah. There was, probably 8th grade and like maybe 7th grade, just because me and my brother just were always not wanting to. My mom would try to infuse us, but we're so sick of getting these shots so often. It's just did that ever cause like more damage though? Like, did you realize later on, like, man, maybe I should have infused? Oh yeah, because I was younger when I broke my arms and stuff like that, so I feel like I should have stayed up to date on that more. And I know I was outside more, so I was playing more, and I definitely should have been up to date on that. And now I'm definitely trying to stay up on it and make sure, trying to help my brother stay up on it too, because I just trying to look out for my brothers. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, man, I think it's so important. That's why I'm bringing it up, for the next generation of bleeders to just know, like, hey, man, we feel the same way you feel, but learn from our mistakes. We should have been more adamant about being on our regimen. So I think it's really cool to hear you say, like, hey, man, like, yeah, it was a mistake, but, yeah, let's learn from it. Yeah, exactly. So and then you just through all your bleeds and stuff like that, you became passionate about healthcare and helping others, or tell me about how, like, what led you to that direction? Honestly, so going to my hematologist appointments, so it's always connected with the cancer department. And every time I'd go as a kid, I would always see these cancer patients, and it just kind of like hurt my heart to see, the pain that they were going through. And it made me, be a little grateful that, yeah, hemophilia sucks, but, you know, it could always be worse. And I remember I was like 9 or 10, and I just left this like little note for this girl who had cancer, and it just, that kind of stuck with me. And I just always felt passionate about wanting to help people be better, and like have a doctor that actually, or nurse, that they can tell the passion's there, and like they really want
Yeah.
them to be better. Because growing up, I've gone to so many emergency rooms and like stuff like that, and these nurses and stuff had like no idea really about what hemophilia was, or
Yeah.
just, it makes you feel lonely because like you're going to them for help, and like
Mhm.
you don't know what's wrong. So
Yeah. Yeah, man, there is nothing worse than seeing a kid suffer, someone who just has
yeah,
no control over why they feel
exactly.
that way. And so that hits me too, man. And that's why I do what I do too, like within the community. It's just because, I'm grateful now to have built so many relationships in the community, and I've had parents send me pictures of their kids, and like, man, it just breaks my heart. Like, I
Yeah,
don't know.
man.
I
It,
hate seeing kids suffer.
yeah, it's not a good feeling, man.
Even
And
though
that's
like I know that like this disorder has made me stronger and it's made me a better
yeah,
person, it's still like, man, you wouldn't give this to your worst enemy.
yeah, exactly, man. And it's, I kind of look at it sometimes as like a blessing in disguise because, like you said, it makes you stronger and stuff like that. But
Hmm.
I almost feel like if I wasn't a hemophiliac, I'd probably not want to. I wouldn't be wanting to pursue school. I'd probably, be goofing off with friends still, just
Yeah.
probably drinking way more than I should, and just
Yep.
stupid stuff like that. So
Yeah. I hear you. Dude, so like kind of like on this topic, like somebody brought this up to me like last week, and they messaged me and they came at me very defensive at first, and then we ended up building like a friendship
yeah,
afterwards. But he was like, I don't understand how I was able to make the decision to have children with having hemophilia. And he really wanted to know what was my thought process of doing that. And so I did start to think about it recently. And, for me, it was a little different because I was 19 years old. I was crazy.
yeah,
I didn't care about life. And I was having sex with whoever I wanted, unprotected sex. And then I had a kid. So it
yeah,
wasn't like I made an adult decision and did
yeah.
that. But I started thinking like, what is the thought process behind that? Like, I kind of wanted to just get your idea. Like, what do you think about that?
Honestly, man, that's a topic that I've really thought about a lot because I want a family someday, and it kind of breaks my heart because I feel like it's either me who doesn't have the kids, or it's maybe my daughter has the decision of not wanting to have a kid because she could potentially give it to her boy.
Mm.
And I know the woman could still carry it and be affected by it. So, I wouldn't even want her to be affected by it as well. But it sucks. But I feel like with how like technologically advanced in science we are, I
Mm.
feel like, things will, just look brighter and brighter as we keep going. So, I feel like we shouldn't have to deprive ourselves from having
Yeah,
kids and enjoying that aspect of life because I feel like kids can bring you so much love and just teach you so
yeah,
many
dude.
things you never knew. So
Life itself is just a beautiful thing. And I feel like we all suffer from some kind of, trials, tribulations. It could be, health, financial, whatever. Like we're all going to go through something, but I don't think that that's a reason to just be like, you know what, this doesn't deserve life. This
yeah,
doesn't deserve the opportunity to feel fulfillment and happiness. So
exactly,
that's
man.
kind of my mindset now with it is just like, you know what, like my daughter, yeah, like she can possibly pass it on to a son, but
Yeah,
man, she's changed my life. And I know that I work harder to change her life, to be a good role model for her,
exactly, man.
to give her a life that maybe other people couldn't have given her. So,
Exactly. And just like it's an extra bit of motivation, as
yeah,
hemophilia, it gets really dark some days, and I sit and think about who I'm really grateful for. And if you have a kid, man, you can't leave your kid like that. They need you. So
yeah,
it's just, you know, extra happiness and something to kind of help keep you around.
yeah. Yeah. And so, with this episode, I'm really thankful that you decided to come on and that you're willing to be real open about depression because it's such a
Yeah.
hot topic in our community. And I feel like there's so many things that people need to learn and understand about it. So I'm going to pick your brain a little bit about some
Go
things.
ahead, man.
And, what my first question is like, you've been battling a chronic disorder your entire life, when did you realize that depression was seeping into that as well, and that was taking a major role in your life?
Probably once I got maybe like 17, I started working jobs and stuff like that. And I quickly realized like working these physical jobs, it was hard to keep up and, be able to maintain paying my bills and, stuff like that. And then I kind of, my friends would go out and do these things and, I couldn't really go along with them, or like if I bumped, my elbow into a wall, now I have a bleed in my arm and my whole night's, I'm just fixated on that pain. So
Yeah.
I definitely think it was when, I started working and stuff like that. And I just I felt like I was limited, even though, I'm looking at you and you're lifting all these weights and it's fucking crazy and more power to you. But
yeah,
I would definitely say, 17 to probably 18 is when it started seeping in. And my adulthood I was getting more responsibilities on top of having the hemophilia complications. So it's just, when I was younger and all I had to really worry about was like video games, homework, and shot here and there and icing. But now, I got to pay my bills. I got to maintain my car. I got to,
yeah, man.
It's a lot.
Yeah. For me, like you just mentioned, like me lifting weights and stuff like that, but it's kind of a deceiving thing because, I've used bodybuilding now as like my platform just to like, help reach people and to show people like the fire that I had inside of me. And like, something happened to me a long time ago that just flipped the switch. And, my first career path was to be a professional golfer. And, because of all the damage in my left elbow and my right ankle, I can no longer walk 9 holes of golf, and so I have found a way through being relentless and determined to like figure out how to lift weights and build muscle. And luckily I found this sport because like, I'm just a competitive person. I love sports.
Yeah.
And, it's like a part of my life that is fulfilling to me. But, so I'm lucky that I found that. But, what I'm trying to say though, is like, I went through that same stage, man, when I was a young dad and I had bills to pay. I had mouths to feed now. I had a wife at the time who was looking up to me to be the man. And dude, in our heart, we're like, we are the man. Like, we're like, man, we could do it. We can do whatever. And I was pushing myself, man. I was doing landscape work. I was doing a construction work. I was trying to work as a server. I mean, I literally tried every job and I was just failing and failing and failing. And every morning was harder and harder. I remember my ex-wife, I'd wake up and I couldn't walk. I couldn't put on my work shoes. And just that constant battle every day of being in excruciating pain and being like, man, I have to find a way to do it. And then you go into work and you're limping and you're in such pain and your boss is like, what the hell's up with this guy, man? Like he's, and I didn't advocate for myself that much back then. Because I was so embarrassed, and people would just be like, man, he's lazy, or what the fuck is he doing? And
I've heard that.
I would get fired and I wouldn't say a word, dude. I can't tell you how many times I got fired and I would just put my head down and walk away.
Yep. That's happened to me multiple times. I worked at this Dairy Queen from I was like 15 to about 19 and busted my tail off. I was the manager, working like 40 hours a week, and I was trying to become the assistant manager. And then next thing you know, this girl comes and basically just kisses a whole bunch of ass, pretty much steals a position from me. And, my boss, I had a pretty good relationship with her, but she was like, I'm sorry we had to go with her. She knew about hemophilia, so she's like, it's just sometimes hard to work around hemophilia, which, it demoralizes you, man, when, you're working so hard as you really can, and they still you get pushed to the curb because, it's something you can't control, and it makes you feel bad because you want to be able to be there for them, and, you don't want to leave them hanging, but you really can only do what you can do. And
I know. Yeah, man. We're fighters inside, but our body, man, that's the worst feeling when your body's just like, nope.
Yeah. Like,
we're not, nope, not today, buddy.
Like, we got to get through today, man. I'm sorry.
I know, man. That sucks. But yeah, man. So I've had to make so many crazy adjustments. I'm thankful for where I'm at today in life because I'm very limited to like today as well. Like I really can't work on my feet anymore. And so yeah, that causes a lot of depression. And another thing that I realized like is even when you don't think that like even if you're not going through like a certain situation like that, just the daily pain it like accumulates, I feel like. And
Yeah.
like all of a sudden you start becoming crabbier or moodier.
Yep.
And it's like you don't even really know why, but it's because it's because we're so used to, I feel like, dealing with pain that we don't realize that like it all kind of builds up and that causes depression, even when we don't think we are.
Yeah. My ex-fiance, I would always get kind of take out my anger and not anger, but just like frustration on her, and I'd be snappy or like she could tell I was in a real bad mood, and
Yeah.
it frustrated her a bit, but she somewhat understand. But
yeah, that was my next question, man. It's like how has depression affected your relationships? You want to talk about that?
yeah, let's I mean, well, I had a fiance of 7 years, and we actually just split last Mother's Day, so it's almost about been a year now. But
Okay.
she knew about it pretty much from the get-go, and she was always pretty nice with helping me with my infusions and stuff like that, but she could tell I was always depressed, and and it just kind of, I feel like, took a toll, because being the person to like hear about all the problems and stuff like that can sometimes just be a little exhausting for somebody. And I just
So you think that's what ultimately took a toll on your relationship was
I don't think it was really the depression. I think the reason we split is just mainly because we were young and we thought this is what we wanted, but we kind of realized, there's so much more to life, and I feel like it wouldn't be right for both of us if we didn't kind of get to explore our lives on our own. Because we've been together since I was like 15, she was 14, and I was 21, and she was 20 when we split. So quite some time. But I've spent this last year really trying to like find myself, and that's kind of how I've been wanting to like get into the hemophilia community more. Because I don't know if you know Zach Bordone, but
I don't know him personally, but I think I've seen him around.
He's a real good friend of mine, and he's one of the first people I reached out to when I joined this hemophilia support group. And he was an amazing tool for me, and he was able to help me out with so much and just kind of like basically help me feel not alone, because at that point I was feeling pretty alone, and I just feel like I've always put way too much pressure on myself that I have to succeed. And I feel like that on top of the depression is just kind of like put a heavy workload on my shoulders, and it feels like it's hard to push through. But I just got this mentality of not wanting to quit. So I probably cry like every other day. So but
so you're single now?
Yeah, I'm single now.
Okay.
Single now, enjoying the single life. Just
working on, like, you're kind of like just currently just working on yourself. And
and we when we split up, I actually went pretty hard on fitness and just trying to lose some weight, and I dropped down from 235 to 210. But then I COVID started, and I kind of got back into like a depressed slump.
Yeah, COVID's been rough for a lot of people. It's been tough. It's hard to get into a good groove.
Yeah,
there's so many guidelines and stuff.
Yeah, exactly,
man.
But yeah, depression is just kind of, I feel like it's something we all hemophiliacs have to deal with. It's just we got to be able to, or we got to realize that there's, we're all going through it. You just got to be able to reach out and talk to us, because we all want to help each other. We don't want to see ourselves fail and stuff like that.
So now that you have this opportunity, spending more alone time with yourself, is there anything that you do or try to practice to kind of get to know yourself better, to be more like intentional and conscious about the things that you're going through?
I'm a huge weed smoker, and I've really been trying to cut back on that and just like smoke at night, because I realize once I smoke in the day, then I'm just kind of lazy and laying around, and the motivation is kind of gone. So I've been trying to take steps like that to change my life and just be able to be more conscious about what decisions I am making, because when I smoke, I really don't care about what I eat or, what I'm drinking. So I'll
Yeah.
grab some unhealthy stuff when I know I'm not sober. I know I wouldn't want it. So I'm trying to, definitely reel off that. And I want to improve my overall body health because just getting weight off these joints,
Hmm.
it would help it out a lot.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's that you were able to be aware that weed smoking was kind of taking a toll on you in some aspects, and
Yeah.
being able to. I think that's what we all need to do is just we need to be able to sit back sometimes and think about our habits and our the things that we do on a daily basis, and are those things good for us? Is it helping us progress forward each day? A lot of times when we go through depression, you start wanting to live a life that's kind of just like mundane, and it's just kind of like you're not even present, you're just living,
Yeah.
going through the motions.
And
uh,
that's kind of feel like, once you soak in that depression, it kind of just feels like you're just on that smooth train that's just going and you're not there. It's just, you're
yeah,
just in this body, in this void doing, you're
yeah, dude,
here just because you're here.
I personally think that most people don't spend enough alone time with themselves.
Yeah.
Even when you are alone, most people are on their phones or watching Netflix or listening to music, doing something. I feel like we do anything in our power to avoid being with our own thoughts, you
That
know,
is, yeah, that's so true, man. People
and
just,
and I find that to be so powerful, man. Maybe it's not comfortable at first when you try to practice it, but man, sometimes you gotta address those thoughts,
yeah,
and have that internal conversation with yourself. Like, all right, let's talk. Let's
yeah,
talk
yeah,
this out,
yeah.
So
Sometimes you really just, it definitely does feel weird at first, but once you start actually talking and listening to yourself,
yeah,
you realize, yeah, this decision was not good for me, or this habit's not good for me. I don't know why I'm still
yeah,
doing it. But like, people just get so caught up with routine, and smokers such as myself, it was such a routine. It's, I go a day without it, it's just like, why my body was, felt weird because it's just stuck in that routine of smoking every day.
yeah, yeah. So, man, when you think about the past 10 years of your life, out of those past 10 years, what makes you happy? What makes you feel fulfilled or makes you like smile? Like, is there any one thing in particular that you're just like, this is what makes me truly me and happy?
I probably have to say my mom and my brothers, just because my older brother's 13, so he's growing up, and I'm looking forward to getting closer to him and being able to
Yeah.
actually have conversations like that. But my older brother and my mom, when we were younger, we were all we really had. So growing up, and my mom always advocating for us to just kind of, this woman loves me more than anything. So
Yeah.
she's kind of helped me like get this mindset of never giving up, because
Yeah.
watching that woman go through what she's gone through and still being able to go through it every day,
Yeah.
it's inspiration. Like,
Yeah. Absolutely.
the days I think about when I want to quit or suicide, which I definitely not gonna do suicide, but
Yeah.
the days when it was dark, I
Dude,
just thought about
you would probably be lying if you said it's never crossed your mind, though.
yeah,
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? Like, it has for me too.
Yeah. And just during those times, I would repeat like my mom's name and my brother's name and just think about why I'm so grateful that they're in my life, because
Yeah.
they make me happy. And my older brother, I mean, he tells me like he looks up to me, and I've inspired him. So like hearing that
Yeah.
from your older brother, when you used to look up to him, and like he helped me
Mhm.
out growing up a lot.
Yeah.
So it's just a great feeling, and just
Yeah.
it's nice just being praised and having that
Yeah,
good
man,
feeling.
that's awesome. And that's why I asked you that question, is because I feel like when you're going through depression and stuff, that like you need, like, I frequently remind myself, who needs me on my A game today? Like who needs me to be successful today? Because when you're suffering from depression, a lot of times you just get so honed in and focused on you. It's like me, 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 me.
Yeah.
And it's hard not to, because our health is so high maintenance.
Yeah.
you know but if you can start to like really think about other people who truly need you to succeed, and truly they need you on your A game, that can mean anything as simple as just having a good attitude, or being the person who brings the light to the room.
Exactly.
Like it can be things like that. And so I frequently remind myself of that, especially when I'm going through like depression spells.
Yeah.
And, I'm like, well, my kids need me, like, my
Yeah.
family needs me, my girlfriend needs me, my coworkers need me, whatever it is. And it's just like being conscious of that every once in a while, man. It really does help, because I feel like it's easier to do things for other people. When you're a real caring person, it's easier to be
It
like,
is.
I'll do it for them.
Yeah.
Maybe you won't do it for yourself, but for someone else you would.
Yeah. That's my older brother, man. I try to do as much as I can for him, and we've both kind of been in a financial rut recently, and I've been able to like find out just like surveys for hemophiliacs you can do, and like I found one recently that like rewarded you $500. So like I sent it over to him, and just I've been trying to like give him resources and stuff like that, just so we both can get back up on top.
Yeah, for sure. So you kind of talked about like, using fitness and other things. Like, I want to talk about things, when people are going through depression, a lot of times, you get stuck and your mind just feels like limited. You kind of feel like, I don't even know what the next steps are to take. Like, I'm depressed. I don't know how to get out. And one of the things that I want to talk about are the things that we are 100% controlling. And those are things like diet, fitness, meditating, learning new things. Like, what have you done that you found has helped you, like, as far as those things that are 100% in your control?
Things to kind of help me with my depression is when I was with my fiance. I know it's not a super productive thing, but I've kind of got back into gaming a little bit with all my friends, because once you get involved with a girl, she kind of becomes your life, and you do a lot with her, so you get to miss out on a lot. And just recently I've been able to game with some of my old friends like I used to, and I actually got a guitar for Christmas, and I've been wanting to learn how to play guitar, because music just speaks to my soul sometimes, man. And just
that's awesome.
But I actually have really bad arthritis in my right hand, though, and I had that shoulder surgery, so I haven't been able to practice or do much with it recently. But that's something that I've been trying to get into. And honestly, when I first started getting into fitness and I dropped those 25 pounds, I felt great. And I was watching like alcohol I consume, just what I eat, and just like trying to do physical activity every day, and just overall I felt great mentally and physically.
So you noticed then when you were participating in fitness activities that your mentality was getting better.
And like there's days I'll spend just scrolling on social media, then once you get off you kind of realize that was just a wasted 30 minutes or an hour, however long you really just spent on it. So I've been trying to getting out of those mind numbing habits that just kind of become.
What about like foods? Have you noticed like any certain foods, like where when you're on a certain diet, if it makes you feel better about your health and well-being?
I try to never skip egg day. I try to always, have an egg in the morning, egg whites, or like just, I try to switch it up because it kind of gets a little,
But dude, I love egg whites, man. You can do a lot. Or
I love egg
whites.
Either way, man. I love eggs. I know some people don't, but you can do a lot with them. And
French toast, man. That's the way I go.
Some protein French toast is good.
Oh yeah.
But I cut out sodas completely, and I was trying to drink as much water as I could in a day, and man, you feel so much better. And like as a kid, my grandma always had sodas, and like it was just soda everywhere. So like we'd wake up, go to the gas station, get a soda, and just you don't realize how much sugar and how bad that stuff is for you until you like sit there and just realize how bad it makes you feel.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, take yourself off of soda, man. That's I hate. There's so much sugar in soda. I love diet soda. I'll drink diet soda all day, but man, I could never let myself consume a real soda.
It's a lot of sugar, man. So I've tried to cut off sugars or like crazy amounts of sugar like that, and just I've tried to like cut out fried foods, but sometimes that gets hard. But I bought an air fryer, so now I can just air fry pretty much everything.
Oh yeah, man! I made some salmon the other day.
Dude,
it was so good.
Salmon with some like broccoli and cauliflower in the air fryer, just so good, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. So like when you were like doing fitness stuff, like did you ever find any like did you ever struggle with like your hemophilia, like getting bleeds and stuff while you were trying to do that? Because I know a lot of people they want to believe in doing fitness as a hemophiliac, but
Yeah,
I know there's benefits, but like what are the struggles that you had with like trying?
I think, one day I'd probably be getting too much into the groove, and I'd be like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna push myself today. And then later on, you're like, man, why did I do that? I should have just stuck with the routine and what I was doing. That was working for me. Or like,
Just going a little too hard and maybe getting
yeah, just realize, definitely push your limits when you can, but don't do anything drastic that you can't handle yet.
yeah.
And another thing was I had to buy some running shoes just because from jogging/running with what I was in was just causing a lot of stress on my joints. And I didn't have like a gym I could go to, so I was just doing it out on the country road where I live. So it was, a cement, so which is already not good for your joints. So
yeah. I can't run anywhere unless it's like on a treadmill or an elliptical. To be honest,
yeah,
I can't even do treadmill really. But yeah,
man. Yeah, it's inspiring though when you do work out and it is successful and you're seeing those results, but
yeah,
it's also demoralizing when you want to keep going, but you got such a bad bleed that it just is bringing you down, or it's just too much pain to even try to push through it.
Yeah, I just got a knee bleed recently, and I've been still working out and pushing myself because I have a show coming up in May.
Yeah.
And like I'm actually documenting my journey with Bayer. We're doing like this we're doing this big campaign about believing in like aiming higher, and it's basically we're trying to change the scope of what hemophiliacs believe they can achieve. And so it's going to be myself, and then there's this other social media influencer who he doesn't have a bleeding disorder, but he's a big influencer though, and he's known for walking the entire was it country of Africa or whatever. Like he walked Africa by foot. Yeah. So,
oh my God,
dude, that's crazy though. Can you imagine? Like,
yeah. Oh my God, dude. I've gone to like a water park and walked around all day, and my feet were sore after that.
So him and I are teaming up, and we're challenging each other, and we're going to be documenting it on social media and stuff. And
hell yeah, dude.
He's going to do like a crazy expedition, and mine is to win my show on May 8th. And we're going to kind of talk about, the key things that we do in order to like put a plan in place and actually implement it. And, so I'm excited for that. That actually starts next week.
Really? Well, hell yeah, dude. That's exciting.
Yeah, man.
Hopefully come out on top with the win. But
and dude, I'm telling you, when you take on a task and you do it for someone else, like, man, you are so much more capable, I believe, like I'm doing this being like, man, I want to inspire the next generation, and it's like, I've been waking up the past week in excruciating pain, like even before I did this interview today, like I felt like I was going to throw up because pain. And like, dude, literally I had to like take a bunch of deep breaths and be like, all right, come on. And it's like, but I can do it because it's for something bigger than myself, like.
Yeah. And exactly, man. Like I was having, slight hesitant about getting on here just because, I'm not the most comfortable with speaking, which I've been working on it because I really do want to, be an advocate for hemophilia and, go up on the stage and be able to talk with it. And that's why I think getting on here today with you is just kind of helping me take that step and being able to kind of pretty much do what you're doing. Is I just want to be able to inspire the younger generation of bleeders. Your story
is so freaking important. And that's why I wrote that down, man. I wrote that down on here, and I was like, that was one of the things I just wanted. I want you to believe in that. I want everyone to believe in that. You know, like the adversity that we go through, like, man, our adversity is an opportunity to help other people. If you push yourself through that and you can, and you actually focus on those like key, steps or the framework that you use to overcome your adversity, dude, you're going to be able to use that for the rest of your life to help people who are going through the same exact situation. And if you can just like constantly put that into perspective and be like, man, I don't know who it is, but one day I'm going to be there to change their life. And, it's like such a level of unselfishness, where you're just putting your life out there for that bigger purpose.
Exactly, man. And it feels so good to be able to inspire and, just the younger generation and the bleeders, because when we were young, it took
we didn't
such a
have
toll.
social media. I didn't have social media like this when I was young.
Yeah,
I couldn't just connect with anyone, and I didn't know a single soul until I was in my 20s. So
exactly, man.
completely
It's a
different.
lonely feeling
Yeah.
when when you're the only one all life like that. You think you're alone. So, but this is why I'm so grateful for these podcasts and just with all the social media and stuff and all the links and
Yeah.
resources we have now. And
Yeah.
yeah, I was talking to my little brother the other day about how I was going to be on the podcast with you, and I showed him, and he's been into fitness here recently, and he's a real skinny guy, so
Yeah.
he thinks has abs, but he's just kind of really skinny. But I showed him some of what you do and stuff like that, and he was amazed and inspired too. So I think
That's awesome.
it's
Yeah.
just amazing that.
Yeah, man. It's just like, bodybuilding just happens to be a passion that I fell into, and it's like, and it's just, that's all you got to do, it's just like find your platform, your way to like connect with people. And like for me, dude, it was always like this crazy fire inside of me. And I was going to use it with golf first. And I was like, man, I just want to show the world this fire that's inside of me. Like,
Hell yeah,
like,
dude.
it's like, how do I show that? And then with bodybuilding, it became like, you don't have to say a word. Like you put in the work, you're going to present something that like you can just look and be like,
Yeah.
something's different about that guy,
Oh
like,
yeah.
and so like, that's what I love about like the art of bodybuilding is like everything that I feel inside, I can show on the outside, like that
Yeah.
fire that's inside of me. And maybe not everyone will connect with it, but the people who suffer from bleeding disorders will, because they'll be like, holy fuck, like
How
they
the hell do
know,
you look like that?
yeah, they know that it took something extra to like look like this, as
Oh
a
yeah.
while battling that. So yeah, man,
Yeah.
it's just fun, man. It's just fun to find your thing,
Oh yeah.
go
And
with it.
I've I feel I've always been like interested, within the healthcare field, but I don't know if because like classes have been getting harder, like depression is just sinking, and just like I've been struggling financially. I've been possibly rethinking, is this really like what I want to pursue? But then I think, well, this is just kind of like the depressed me talking.
Yeah.
I think this is what I know this is what I want to pursue. It's just I gotta stop being, letting that sadness overcome
Hmm.
me being able to push the next step.
Yeah, man. And that, you just made me think of something, like, um, when I do, because my story is like, I always like say like 6 years ago, I hit rock bottom where I wanted to commit suicide. I didn't want to live anymore. And it was when I lost golf and when the doctors told me my liver was on the final stage of liver cirrhosis because of the hepatitis C that I got when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And dude, like it's mortality motivation, like I was doing research on it and I was like, man, if I get this liver replacement, most people don't only live 20 years after a liver replacement, or like I was just reading all these statistics and I'm just like, holy shit, like this is it for me, like this could be it,
Yeah.
like like what? And then you start to think like, you know and do I have a purpose? Like,
Yeah.
what am I doing here? You just start to think about everything.
Yeah.
And so that's when it all changed for me. And, now I just focus on like, I created during that time though, when I decided, hey, listen, you know what? Fuck this shit. This is my story. This is my fucking story. And for the first, up until that point, when I hit rock bottom, I was like, okay, cool. Hemophilia, you won. All right. You dictated my life. You wrote my story, but that's fucking it. I'm the
Yeah.
author of my book. And I did a newsletter with Lori Kelly a long time ago that's published out there somewhere. And it's called My Story Rewritten. And that was my mindset, dude. I was like, I'm the fucking author of this story. And I'm going to sit down and literally find that clarity. I'm going to write down, what does my perfect life look like? What does it feel like? How am I going to look? What are my relationships going to be like? And I literally just painted that picture and then I created this like compass, what I like to call it. It's a compass statement. And mine was use adversity to change lives. And so when I started the journey, I was like, okay, that statement is my compass.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go down this path, and it could take me 10 years, it could take me 20 years, but I'm always going to keep that statement in mind whenever I do anything, whenever I start a new job, whenever I have new opportunities, whatever it is that I go through in life. If I get off track a little bit, I'm going to ask myself, if I do this step, is it going to help me to use adversity to change lives?
Yeah,
And
that's a good way to look at it, man.
And so, yeah, it's been crazy, man. I've been able to stay on that and build things like the podcast or Hemo Life when I created Hemo Life. And,
exactly, man. It's got to feel good to, look back to when you first started bodybuilding. And, I saw the picture the other day of when you were first beginning, and, man, it's,
yeah,
completely different LA.
dude,
So
yeah, I just completely rebuilt myself from the ground up. I was just like, I wasn't raised with success habits or,
yeah,
anything. I wasn't raised to learn how to be a good partner for someone in a relationship.
yeah,
It was like, dude, I had to find those answers. I had to take accountability and say, you know what? I'm going to figure out what these answers are, and I'm going to figure out how to reach my destination. And once I took accountability in everything that I was doing, like it changed my life, but it did take a long time. It's taken almost 10 years now of consistent, like
yeah,
grinding, suffering, people not believing in you. And, like being like, I don't care. I'm staying to the journey. I'm sticking to the journey, stick to the plan.
yeah.
But that's all I was kind of saying. I mean, long story short, to sum it up, I was just thinking, like, I think that would be beneficial for you, man. It's just like create like some kind of compass or game plan of what you want for the rest of your life. And just like, you're going to go through hard times, man. You're not going to be making money sometimes. You're not going to be doing a lot of things are going to throw you off track, but like find that one thing that's going to always, lead you towards your legacy,
Yeah, man, that's I'm definitely gonna, when we get off here, probably build a compass and just kind of like write down, what you were saying, like what does my perfect life look like? How do I want to be in 10 years, or how do I want to be in 20 years?
I think that you really have to find that clarity and spend that time with yourself, to like do it in detail,
Yeah. It's like I feel like we get so caught up with like what we're doing every day, we just becomes routine. We don't even think about the future. We're just so caught up with what's happening today that we just keep going with the flow. And
and the thing is a lot of like when people see successful people, they think, oh, well, if I want to be that way, I got to go zero. There's some big move that I got to make, some gigantic thing that I got to do to be successful like that. And really, it's just consistency, dedication, and small steps every single day that lead you to that grand destination.
Exactly.
People don't see that. They don't know that they can just take these daily steps. They think they have to do something completely out of their realm, but it's really right in front of your hands,
Yeah. And I feel like that's what I tried to do when I first was like, I want to be successful, is pretty much drop all bad habits and everything. And, you quickly just pick them back up. So that's why I've tried to just start with one thing and then wait over time, and then just till I perfect that. And that's why I've been trying to work on, how much or smoking weed in the morning, because it's just, if I want to be productive and, get my future going, I just don't feel like that's going to be what I need to do. And like, it eases my joint pains a little bit, but is it really worth that high, foggy mind feeling?
Yeah.
And just trying to learn these human anatomy classes and just all these terms and medical terminology, man. It's just, it's a lot. It's like a whole new language. So
that's
it's
daunting, man. That's a daunting task. That scares the shit out of me to even think about doing that. So you have my respect when it comes to that, because I check out. I'm like,
I mean, we'll see how far I get, but this is my plan as of now. So
but dude, I want to ask you, have you ever tried Kratom?
I've heard about it, but I've never tried it.
Dude, man, it has changed my life. And I will honestly say that I don't think that I would have gotten this far in my preparation for my show without it.
Damn.
It's crazy, dude. Like my anxiety has gone away. My pain is more manageable with my bleeds. Dude, I am so obsessed with it that I'm like thinking about investing in a business where I create my own Kratom brand and stuff. And it's a natural leaf that's produced in Indonesia. And I thought it was just like this huge gimmicky thing. My roommates that I live with, they take it every day and they swear on it. and I've lived with them for almost 2 years. And I'm like, no, that's stupid.
Yeah.
And then one day I was like, all right, let me try it. I tried it and it hits within like 10 minutes. And like, it's like an amazing high. Like you just feel like life is amazing all the time, but there's no crash. There's no downside, no flaws to it. You can focus more on the work that you're trying to accomplish. And I used to have trouble sleeping all the time because my ankles would be in pain and I'd be hurt. And like, I sleep like a baby now. And
hell yeah,
dude. So I don't know if you should.
Where do you usually get yours through?
So my roommate actually owns a shop.
Okay.
I've been trying. She has a lot of different brands, and I've been playing with different brands and strains to see which one works the best for me.
Yeah.
But dude, I have such a conviction for this stuff now that I'm going to create my own brand. I feel like soon, and I'm going to,
dude.
And because if it really does for others what it's doing for me in our community, dude, this is a game changer.
Yeah. This would definitely help out a lot of people, man.
I want to see. So I'm not 100% convinced yet because I know it's working for me, but I want to see if it helps others too.
You need to send me a link or just like let me know which one that you're.
Let's talk about it. And I'll send you some too, like afterwards.
Okay.
I'll send to you.
Okay.
Just so I can get some feedback and see if it's really,
as someone who's
try it.
Smokes weed heavy, I feel like this would be a great, substitution because
dude,
the habit of. Sorry.
If you take like 5 grams and below, it's kind of like it really helps with focus, and it's kind of like it's almost like a cocaine effect, dude. It's crazy. And if you take more than 5 grams, like 5 to like 15, then it actually connects to your what do they call it? Opioid receptors in your brain. And so it almost has like a Vicodin effect of some sort.
Damn.
But with no downside though, like no crashing, no feeling sick. Like it makes you feel like life's amazing all the time.
Yeah. And plus, you don't have to take some pharmaceutical painkiller.
Dude, so I'm kind of ranting too much for the podcast.
No.
I just stopped my depression meds today. And I know you're not supposed to, but because of the Kratom, I've been doing so good. Like I was like, all right, I'm done. I want to see if I can stop my depression meds because I hate taking them. I hate that I have to live and survive off of, pharmaceutical medications to make me not depressed. So I'll keep you updated on that stuff. And
dude, let me know. But I'd like to hear about in like a week or so how, you're doing with your depression and stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, let's see what else I got for you, man. What about I wanted to ask you about morning routines. Like, is there anything that like you do like throughout a daily basis that has helped you out at all?
I find when I like wake up and just like jump out of bed instead of like waking up and just rolling over and then going back to sleep helps me. I'll get up and try to like wash my face so I get just the cold water on my face so it helps me wake up. Or just I have a little dog, so I got to take her out. So I just something to get me out of bed, because if not, then I just find myself not wanting to do really anything, and then I'm just stuck in a dark room laying on a bed. So, but I think once you wake up, it's a good idea to just try to go ahead and get up and not lay there, because then you're just gonna get stuck.
Yeah, because I was asking because I know I've gone through it, and I'm sure a lot of us go through it, where when you are depressed, you wake up and you're just like, I think I'll just lay in bed the rest of the day. Like, there's no point.
Yeah.
Why should I get up? There's no point,
Yeah. Like if I have nothing really going on, it's just like, I don't have nothing to do. So I'm just or even if I do have something going on, sometimes the depression will just take over like that. So but for the most part, I still try to show up to events and stuff like that and try to be around people. So, it just wasn't stuck alone with my depression, but you know how it feels to be depressed. So
yeah, man. Like one thing that I want to like challenge people who are listening to this podcast, and also you, if like one thing that I've done that changed my life when I was depressed, because before this podcast, I was thinking to myself, well, when I was at my all-time low, what are some things that I did that really worked and really pulled me out of that funk?
Yeah.
And one thing that I did, it's like this acronym called TIME. So it's TIME. And I would wake up every single morning, and I have a journal. And where is it? It's under here. Let me see. So I have this journal right here, and you can see I've pretty much have like gone through it like every single day. You can't really see it, but every single day, dude. And I write down that acronym time, and the T stands for thankfulness. The I stands for insight. The M stands for meditation, and the E stands for exercise. And so every day I start my day off with the T, thankfulness, and I write down everything that I'm thankful for. On this day, January 25th, I put I'm thankful for my house, thankful for my kids, I'm thankful for my job, I'm thankful for the gym.
Man.
I'm thankful for new opportunities that are coming into my life. I'm thankful for the ability to keep on learning new things. So that's, dude, gratitude and thankfulness has changed my life. And I've always heard about that, and I never put it into play. And I challenged myself to do it for 1 month. And I was like, and when you first start doing it, it seems so petty and like, seems like it's really not going to do anything. But then all of a sudden, dude, I don't know when it hits, but it hits, and you just go like, wow, something's different.
Yeah.
And it's like, something is different about me. Something's different about my days. And dude, when you constantly wake up and you think about what you're grateful for and thankful for, and you actually put thought behind it, you don't just write it down. Like as you're writing it, you're really like, I really am thankful for this stuff. I'm so grateful for this opportunity that, a lot can go wrong in the day, and you're like, you handle it so much better because you're so grateful for everything that you've already discussed with yourself that morning.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that's helped. Insight is like learning something new. So I like to every single day figure out something I want to learn, and I'll go to YouTube and I'll watch a video, and maybe I'll drink some coffee, and something new.
Yeah, man.
And then M is meditation. And I've learned, I've really gotten into that lately, where I practice different meditation stuff, and there's so many different techniques for people to use.
Yeah.
And then E is exercise. I exercise every day. So,
yeah.
But dude, doing those every single day is completely transformed my life from when I was in a really bad depression stage. And I really think it played a big role in how I overcame that. So I kind of wanted to share that with you and with the people who are listening to the depression podcast today.
Yeah, man. I mean, honestly, I think I'm going to probably buy like a little journal to do that in, because I feel like that'll definitely help me in the morning. If I go straight to just thinking about what I'm thankful for instead of feeling my body and like, man, what hurts today, or
yeah,
you just instead jump to
Dude,
straight to what you're thankful for.
Man. And I want people to feel that feeling of when it finally kicks in and you're just like, holy shit, this is working, dude. Like this is working. Like
exactly, man. Waking up happy it's a good feeling. So
yeah, so I got that sign right there. It says gratitude.
Yeah.
Or grateful. It says grateful.
Yeah.
And dude, I just constantly remind myself, man, like life is good. And
that's what I try to tell myself a little bit. And like it could always be worse. And something me and my mom and my friend Zach actually kind of helped me just like tell myself is, I always tell myself like, man, what if I was on fire? Like, if you were literally engulfed in flames, that hurt really fucking bad. So the possibility of it happened, but something to help you get through the day or anything to just, help you push a little bit.
Yeah.
But, I also think that time thing will help me out with just kind of learning new aspects of like the human anatomy and stuff like that. Cause it's been a little bit of a struggle. And
yeah. And that, like I said, that's the power of like just doing like build. It's like, to me, it's momentum. You every single day you're even if it's small, those small steps, dude, after a month or two, now all of a sudden you're so much smarter. You've got so much momentum, and then you want to learn more, and then you start doing more than what these basic steps are, like, so it's just like, it's not these major steps that change our lives. It's these little bitty habits and things that we can do that will really pull us out of that rut.
Exactly, man.
But yeah, man. So to end the podcast, because we've been talking for about an hour and 4 minutes, I always ask everyone, if you were going to pass on one message, say one final, one thing to the next generation of bleeders based off of the things that, you've overcome and you've learned in your life, what would it be?
I'd probably have to say definitely use your resources, man. Like they are there for you. There's tons of people. You may have to do a little researching, but you will quickly find the older generation of bleeders, or even people just slightly older than you, that'll help you and just like show you tricks and stuff like that, and just like just very useful tips or just helpful resources for hemophiliacs. Because growing up, or definitely even for like the parents and stuff, it'd be helpful for the parents that have to like look over these kids that know nothing about hemophilia. So I'm just glad there's a lot more of a platform now for it, and I feel like it's just getting bigger with us. So
yeah, man, that's a really good message, man. Because there's so many resources out there, so just get involved and connect with people. And I mean, there's resources for insurance, there's insurances for crises that you get into throughout life, grants for going to school, scholarships, travel vouchers if you to get an opportunity to connect with people at different events. Well, right now with COVID, there's not much connection in person, but it'll open up again. So man, I think utilizing resources is a really good message for sure.
Definitely, man. I just want to thank you for having me on here today, man. It was definitely a good time. I was excited about doing it. I was telling my mom and stuff, and just whenever it's uploaded, they're excited to hear it. So
I can't wait, man. So thanks a lot for your time, and like it's really cool that we were able to have this open dialogue, and I hope it reaches people and helps people. At least the key for me, I think, is like at least getting people to ask the right questions. Sometimes we don't know those questions to ask ourselves. So I'm hoping that after they watch this, they can be like, let me ask myself those questions and see if I get somewhere. So
exactly, I hope this inspires somebody at least.
Yeah, it will.
I do want to say before I go, I like your Day of the Dead tattoo. I think, is that what it is?
Oh yeah,
or just
right here.
Yeah, that's sick, man. I like it.
Thanks, man. I'm dating a Mexican girl now, so she got me inspired to get a Day of the Dead tattoo.
There you go. They take care of them, man.
All right, bro. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate your time.
Yep. And, I appreciate you, man.
We'll stay connected for sure.
Yes, sir.